benefits to move up into status of buyer A. To be a buyer A, they're going to have to answer those buyer questions. They're going to have to get pre-approved. They're going to have to come in and meet with you, and they're going to have to sign a buyer brokerage agreement, which we call a loyalty agreement. So I want you guys to be really aware of the fact that it's important to start segmenting these A, B, and C's. And buyer C's are people you talk to on the phone, and you gave them some help, and they recognize your name, and they're in the database, but you don't want to work with them. Now, there's a buyer D. The buyer D does all the right things, but he has extremely unrealistic expectations, or you just hate him. And a buyer D could potentially just get referred out. And I don't know any top agents that don't have somebody else in the office that don't refer out clients that exhaust them. You only have your time in this business, and there's 10% of the clients that just take all of your energy. And as you get longer in the business, you start identifying them sooner. I mean, I got to the point where I could, walking across the street, I could almost identify them. And these are the people that the caustic, the people that are contrary to your life goals. And I refer them out. So let's try the A, B, and C's for buyers and sellers so you start spending the right amount of time with the right people. All right? Anybody do an open house this weekend? Anybody do an open house? Okay. Well, did I ever talk about, I think at one of the seminars I talked about a 15-minute open house. Does anybody remember that? Yes. Well, yes. Okay. I want you guys to start, maybe putting 6 or 8 listings together and do them all on a Sunday in 15-minute intervals, and maybe have your lender help you. We're getting a huge response from that lately. Huge response. We're also getting a huge response, by the way, of calling people that have condos, homes, and townhouses for rent in the Sunday paper. I mentioned that a couple weeks ago. I hope you guys are starting to call them, calling them and asking if they're thinking about ever selling. These are people that we're really getting a lot of listings off of that. All right. Well, today's session, I'm only starting 41 minutes late, is the fact that we are going to have to start getting our lender and our other affiliates more involved. So I'm going to go quickly through some of the things that are in the books that you guys own. But I want you to start understanding how important this stuff is that, you're only one person, man. And there's a lot of people that make money from you. And I need them to be on your team. So let's go ahead and see if we can't get those up and running here. Hold on a second. Let me get them up here. All right. We've been very successful in putting together, instead of a resume or a personal brochure, most of the top agents in the country are putting together what we call a team brochure. And what this does, it allows you to, obviously promote yourself. That's my prom picture. But also, let's see if we can get some other ones here. Also, some people that help you out. That top gal is the person who handled my files when I was on vacation for 2 weeks. And, I promoted her as part of my team. She was a go-to person. And you all have a best friend in the office. She was part of my team. And then there's I did have an assistant. That was Tori. And Tori, Tori needs to be promoted, especially some of you guys that are going to start getting some part-time assistance once you find out that this seller lead generation thing actually works. I mean, you're going to tell the other co-ops, you're going to tell your clients that they have the okay to discuss some things with your assistant. And then a lot of you guys have part-time door hanger people. I mean, here's Bernadette. I mean, she wasn't a rocket scientist. She got paid minimum wage, but on here she's my marketing specialist. And then we had the lady who answered the phone for our office. I mean, she worked for the broker, but she's on my team. She's on my partner's brochure. She's on my website under trusted affiliates. Remember, you guys, the bigger you make yourself look, the more important, the more eyes that are on a client's goals. And this was a big part of my listing presentation, that they're not just hiring one agent, they're hiring a whole team. This was another broker hired administrator that was on my team. Here's a couple of part-timers at the bottom. Then we have the title company, the termite guy, and we have the financing person. You know, and I had a couple of financing people, FHA VA specialist, a 1 to 4 specialist, a 5 unit or more specialist. So, actually having a team approach is important. Now, the reason I started with that, guys, is that you can actually impress your affiliates the fact that you're actually starting to promote them a little bit. Home warranty, home inspection, they all had their picture. Now, since you're the only one doing it for them, do you think possibly they're going to be bringing leads in, that they're going to give you their own personal real estate to buy and sell? Well, of course they are. So, then the next step is saying, okay, well, let's work together for us to both making some more money. Now, in the teaming up product you guys have, I have things that my home warranty person does, home inspection person does, my title company does. But let's just do lenders here today so I can show you all the things that they can be involved with. All right, so this is all the things that a lender, or some of the things. And we talked about lender for sale by owner generation, but I didn't show you the letter. I mean, lenders treat for sale by owners as a lead source. They just don't know how to go after them sometimes. So you hand them this email or this letter, and the letter just says, in reviewing, this is a letter from your lender, which means that they're going to use their stationery and their letterhead. In reviewing the current properties for sale, I noticed that we're temporarily in the same sort of business. I'm not a realtor. I'm a real estate mortgage lender. I actually find the money to make real estate transactions happen. I'm writing you because I'd like to meet and pre-qualify any potential buyers for you and also assist you should you decide to repurchase in the area. When I pre-qualify buyers, like I do for realtors, I check their credit, down payment, Third paragraph. Your own pre-qualification is important if you're going to be buying. That's the third paragraph. Fourth paragraph. And finally, because I'm involved in this industry, I know all the best people to send you to. I can help you and be a mentor, and then P.S. I'll be giving you a call in a few weeks or a few days to see how you're doing. Please email me should you have any names of people that I can help you with. And what that does, guys, is it allows you to give the lender a letter to send for sale by owners so that you can get your lender and the FSBO together. And obviously, when the FSBO finally says, this is a pain in the rear, I'm going to list this house, well, then you're going to be standing up and taking that business. I have my lenders email all of the agents, the co-ops, an email. And if you look at the last paragraph, again, thank you. I look forward to working with you and your client in the future. Remember, if your buyer has been pre-qualified by us, your chances of acceptance are much greater, which means that the lender loves this idea because now he is actually working with all the cooperative real estate agents who have buyers in their cars who are showing my listings. So I gave all the showing cards to my lender, who followed up with the cooperative agent. Now, when the cooperative agent filled out the survey, the lender gave them all back to me, and then I sent them to the seller, and I sent them the negative ones, and the seller then, of course, was getting beaten up for a price reduction by the cooperative agents and not always by me. I mean, you guys are looking for price reductions. Every week you're calling your sellers and saying, hey, the price is wrong. Why don't we go ahead and start having the co-ops who are responding back by way of survey as initiated by your lender? Why don't we have the co-op start beating your sellers up a little bit, saying that the property's ugly and smelly? Okay? All right. Here's one, the third-party endorsement letters. We'll do this